If ever I saw blessing in the air, I see it now in this still early day, where lemon green the vaporous morning drips wet sunlight on the powder of my eye. Blown bubble film of blue, the sky wraps round weeds of warm light whose every root and rod splutters with soapy green, and all the world sweats with the bead of summer in its bud. If ever I heard blessing, it is there where birds in trees that shoals and shadows are, splash with their hidden wings, and drops of sound break on my ears their crests of throbbing air. Pure in the haze, the emerald sun dilates, the lips of sparrows milk the mossy stones, while white as water by the lake, a girl swims her green hand among the gathered swans. Now, as the almond burns its smoking wick, dropping small flames to light the candled grass. Now, as my low blood scales its second chance, if ever world were blessed, now it is.
The dawn's precise pronouncement waits, with breath of light and drawn, then forms with smoky smut red lips the cradle on the sun. The mouldering atoms of the dark blaze into morning air. The bird-like stars droop down and die. The star-like birds catch fire. The thrush's tender throat strikes up. The sparrow chips hot sparks from flinty tongue, and all the sky showers with electric larks. like clinkers burn, where blackbirds scream with comet tails, and flaring finches pour, and starlings aimed like meteors bounce from the garden wall, where from the edge of day I spring alive for mortal flight, lit by the heart's exploding sound, bursting from night to
That was her beginning, an apparition of rose in the unbreathed airs of his love. Her heart, revealed by the wash of summer, sprung from her childhood's shallow stream. Then it was that she put up her hair, inscribed her eyes with a look of grief, while her limbs grew as curious as coral branches, her breasts full of secrets. But the boy, confused in his dazed desire, was searching for herons, his fingers bathed in the green of walnuts, or watching at night the great bear spin from the maypole star. It was then that he paused in the death of a game, and felt the hook of her hair on his swimming throat, saw her mouth at large in the dark river, flushed like a salmon. But he covered his face and hid his joy with a wild goose web of false directions, and hunted the woods for eggs and glowworms, for rabbits tasteless as moss. And she walked in fields where the crocuses branded her feet, a mare's tail sprang from the prancing lake, and the salty grasses surged round her stranded body.
The evening, the heather, the unsecretive cuckoo and butterflies in their disorder. Not a word of war as we lie, our mouths in a hot nest, and the flowers advancing.
The girl's far treble, muted to the heat, calls like a fainting bird across the fields to where her flock lies panting for her voice, their black horns buried deep in marigolds. They climb awake like drowsy butterflies and press their red flanks through the tall, branched grass, and as they go, their wandering tongues embrace the vacant summer mirrored in their eyes. Led to the limestone shadows of a barn, they snuff their past embalmed in the hay, while her cool hand, cup to the udder's fount, distills the brimming harvest of their day. Look what a cloudy cream the earth gives out, fat juice of buttercups and meadow rye. The girl dreams milk within her body's field, and hears, far off, her muted children cry. Thistle, blue bunch of daggers rattling upon the wind, sword tooth that separates the lips of grasses, your wound in childhood was a savage shock of joy that set the bees on fire and the loud larks singing. Your head, enchanted then, smouldering among the flowers, filled the whole sky with smoke and sparks of seed. Now from your stabbing bloom's nostalgic point of pain, ghosts of those summers rise, rustling across my eyes, seeding a magic thorn to prick the memory, to start in my icy flesh fevers of long-lost fields.
The season does not leave your limbs. Like a covered field you lie, and remembering the exultant plough, your sheltered bosom stirs and whispers warm with rain. Waiting does not leave your eyes. Your belly is as bright as snow, and there your naked fingers are spread over the dark flowers, shaking out their roots. My kiss has not yet left your blood, but slumbers in a stream within your quiet caves. Listening to the sun, it will cry forth and burst with leaves and blossom with a
White-arched in loops of silence, the bodega lies drowsed in spices, where the antique woods piled in solera, dripping years of flavour, distill their golden fumes among the shades. In from the yard, where barrels under fig trees split staves of sunlight from the noon's hot glare, the tall stork comes, black-stilted, sagely witted, wiping his careful beak upon the air. He is a priest-like presence. He inscribes sharp as a pen his staid and written dance, skating the floor with stiffened plumes behind him, gravely off balance, solemn in his trance. Drunk on these sherry vapours, eyes akimbo, he treads among the casks, makes a small leap, flaps wildly, fails to fly, until at last, folded umbrella-wise, he falls asleep. So bird and bard exchange their spheres of pleasure. He from his high-roof nest now levelled lies, whilst I, earth-tide, breathing these wines, take wing and float amazed across his feathered skies. Such a morning it is, when love leans through geranium windows and calls with a cockerel's tongue, when red-haired girls scamper like roses over the rain-green grass, and the sun drips honey, when hedgerows grow venerable, berries dry black as blood, and holes suck in their bees. Such a morning it is, when mice run whispering from the church, dragging dropped ears of harvest, when the partridge draws back his spring and shoots like a buzzing arrow over grained and mahogany fields, when no table is bare and no breast dry, and the tramp feeds off ribs of rabbit. Such a day it is, when time piles up the hills like pumpkins and the streams run golden, when all men smell good and the cheeks of girls are as baked bread to the mouth, as bread and bean flowers, the touch of their lips, and their white teeth sweeter than cucumbers.
Asleep we are divided by worlds our slumbers fashion. The green stars in my eyes are the craters of the moon, and your thick tress is twisting. Blue weeds from sweat and darkness are all the deep primeval seas I have no power to join. At last my shattered eyelids explode with flint and crystals. Cries from your dreaming tongue make the walls of sleep fall down. And in a mineral landscape I see your body blazing, strange as the world's beginning and as foreign to my own. But as my floating senses calm down the airs around you, and from these scattered visions your virtues recollect, then like a flock of starlings migrating to their branches, the minutes dress you with your name, and me with leaves of love again. Then like a flock of starlings migrating to their branches, the minutes dress you with your name, and me with leaves of love again.
I stumbled on Rosie behind a haycock, and she grinned up at me with the sly, glittering eyes of her mother. She wore her tartan frock and cheap brass necklace, and her bare legs were brown with hay dust. "Get out of there," I said. "Go on." Rosie had grown and was hefty now, and I was terrified of her. In her cat-like eyes and curling mouth, I saw unnatural wisdoms more threatening than anything I could imagine. The last time we'd met, I'd hit her with a cabbage stump. She bore me no grudge, just grinned. "I got something to show you." "You push off," I said. I felt dry and dripping, icy hot. Her eyes glinted, and I stood rooted. Her face was wrapped in a pulsating haze, and her body seemed to flicker with lightning. "You thirsty?" she said. "I ain't so there." "You be," she said. "Come on." So I stuck the fork into the ringing ground and followed her like doom. We went a long way to the bottom of the field, where a wagon stood half loaded. Festoons of untrimmed grass hung down like curtains all around it. We crawled underneath, between the wheels, into a herb-scented cave of darkness. Rosie searched about, turned over a sack, and revealed a stone jar of cider. "It's cider," she said. "You want to drink it, though. Not much of it, any rate." Huge and squat, the jar lay on the grass like an unexploded bomb. We lifted it up, unscrewed the stopper, and smelt the whiff of fermented apples. I held the jar to my mouth and rolled my eyes sideways like a beast at a water hole. "Go on," said Rosie. I took a deep breath. Never to be forgotten, that first long secret drink of golden fire, juice of those valleys and of that time, wine of wild orchards, of russet summer, of plump red apples and roses burning cheeks, never to be forgotten, nor ever tasted again.
Behold the apple's rounded worlds, juice green of July rain, the black pole star of flower, the rind mapped with its crimson stain, the rusted crab and cottage red, burnt to the sun's hot brass, then drop like sweat from every branch and bubble in the grass. They lie as wanton as they fall, and where they fall and break, the stallion clamps his crunching jaws, the starling stabs his beak. In each plunk or the sidery bite, of boy's teeth tears the skin. The waltzing wasp consumes his share, the bent worm enters in. I with as easy hunger, taking time I seasons door. Welcome the ripe, the sweet, the sour, the hollow and the whole. Welcome the ripe, the sweet, the sour, the hollow and the whole.
Slow moves the acid breath of noon over the copper-coated hill. Slow from the wild crab's bearded breast the palsied apples fall. Like coloured smoke the day hangs far, taking the village without sound. The vulture-headed sun lies low, chained to the violet ground. The horse upon the rocky height rolls all the valley in his eye, but dares not raise his foot or move his shoulder from the fly. The sheep, snail-backed against the wall, lifts her blind face, but does not know the cry her blackened tongue gives forth is the first bleat of snow. Each bird and stone, each roof and well feels the gold foot of autumn pass. Each spider binds with glittering snare the splintered bones of grass. Slow moves the hour that sucks our life. Slow drops the late wasp from the pear. The rose tree's thread of scent draws thin and snaps upon the air. The green light floods the city square, a sea of fowl and feathered fish, where squaws of rainbirds dive and splash, and gusty sparrows chop the air. Submerged, the prawn-blue pigeons feed in sandy grottos round the mall, and crusted lobster busses crawl among the fountain's silver weed. There, like a wreck, with mast and bell, the torn church settles by the bow, while phosphorescent starlings stow their mussel shells along the hull. The oyster poet, drowned but dry, rolls a black pearl between his bones. The typist, trapped by telephones, gazes in bubbles at the sky. Till, with the dark, the shallows run and homeward surges tide and fret. The slow night draws its heavy net and hauls the clerk to Surbiton.
November loosens the tongue like a leaf condemned and calls through the sharp blue air a sad dance and a dread of winter. The mistletoe reveals a star in the dark crab apple, and chestnuts join the generations under the spider sheets of cold. I hear the branches snap their fingers and solitary grasses crack. I hear the forest open her dress and the ravens rattle their icy wings. I hear the girl beside me rock the hammock of her blood and breathe upon the bedroom walls. White dust of Christmas roses. And I think, do you feel the snow, love, in your crocus eyes? Do you watch from your trench of slumber this blue dawn dripping on a floor? But she smiles with her warm mouth in a dream of daisies and swings with the streaming birds to chorus among the chimneys.
On eves of cold, when slow coal fires rooted in basements burn and branch, brushing with smoke the city air, when quartered moons pale in the sky and neons glow along the dark like deadly nightshade on a briar. Above the muffled traffic then I hear the owl, and at his note I shudder in my private chair. For like an augur he has come to roost among our crumbling walls, his blooded talons sheathed in fur. Some secret lure of time, it seems, has called him from his country wastes to hunt a newer wasteland here. And where the candelabra swung bright with the dancer's thousand eyes, now his black hooded pupils stare. And where the silk-shoed lovers ran with dust of diamonds in their hair, he opens now his silent wing, and, like a stroke of doom, drops down and swoops across the empty hall and plucks a quick mouse off the stair. Tonight the wind gnaws with teeth of glass. The jackdaw shivers in caged branches of iron. The stars have talons. There is hunger in the mouth of vole and badger, silver agonies of breath in the nostril of the fox, ice on the rabbit's paw. Tonight has no moon, no food for the pilgrim. The fruit tree is bare, the rose bush a thorn, and the ground bitter with stones. But the mole sleeps, and the hedgehog lies curled in a womb of leaves. The bean and the wheat seed hug their germs in the earth, and the stream moves under the ice. Tonight there is no moon, but a new star opens like a silver trumpet over the dead. Tonight, in a nest of ruins, the blessed babe is laid, and the fir tree warms to a bloom of candles. The child lights his lantern, stares at his tinselled toy. Our hearts and hearths smoulder with live ashes. In the blood of our grief, the cold earth is suckled. In our agony, the womb convulses its seed. In the last cry of anguish, the child's first breath is born. No night could be darker than this night, no cold so cold, as the blood snaps like a wire, and the heart's sap stills, and the year seems defeated. Oh, never again, it seems, can green things run, or sky birds fly, or the grass exhale its humming breath powdered with pimpernels from this dark lung of winter. Yet here are lessons for the final mile of pilgrim kings, the mile still left when all have reached their tether's end, that mile where the child lies hid. For see, beneath the hand, the earth already warms and glows. For men with shepherd's eyes there are signs in the dark, the turning stars, the lamb's returning time. Out of this utter death he's born again, his birth our Saviour. From terror's equinox he climbs and grows, drawing his fingers light across our blood, the Son of Heaven and the Son of God.
Now as we lie beneath the sky, prone and knotted, you and I, visible at last we are to each nebula and star. Here as we kiss the bloodless moon, stirs to our rustling breath, Saturn leans us a heavy-lidded glance, and of our hands, ruffles the red moss desert sands, while coupled in our doubled eyes, Jupiter disheveled lies. Now as we loose the knots of love, earth at our back and sky above, visible at last we gather all that is except each other.
O river, green and still, by frost and memory stayed, your dumb and stiffened glass divides a shadow and a shade. In air the shadows face my winter gaze lets fall, to see beneath the stream's bright bars that other shade enthrall. A boy, time fixed in ice, his cheeks with summer dyed, his mouth a rose devouring rose, his bird throat petrified. O fabulous and lost, more distant to me now than rock-drawn mammoth, painted stag or tigers in the snow, you stare into my face dead as 10,000 years, your sparrow tongue sealed in my mouth, your world about my ears. And till our shadows meet, till time burns through the ice, thus frozen shall we ever stay, locked in this paradise.